Hey, hey, everybody. Hope you can hear me. Put a one in the chat if you can. Sorry about being late. You know me. I'm late. Always. It's a problem, okay? I know this. I'm sorry. I know this. Okay. Awesome. Oh, where'd my camera go? Hold the phone. Hey! Can you see me? I can see me. Awesome, guys. Thank you for being here. Hey, Guidance. Holly Golightly. Beth, Afrohuman. Grammy. Carla Bergeson, Lindsay, looking ass. I love it, Carla. Heather. Izzy, Beth, Tiffany. Oh, got some peeps in here. My voice is hot. Well, it matches my ferocity. How about that? Got grands, so I'll be listening. Oh, you got your grandchildren. Awesome, awesome. All right, y'all. So today, obviously, I want to talk about Summer and Michael. I believe, RB, go on. This is not a dating website. It's really sad that you're up in here trying to get a married woman to talk to you. What's going on here? That's gross. Anyway, mods, do your thing. I really do believe that there is a huge similarity, plenty of huge similarities in the Michael Vaughan and Summer Wells case, to say the least. And I want to go over that today. And the reason why is because I think that everybody kind of feels that way. I'm positive that people feel this way. Right? So let me go ahead and just hide this bad boy. See ya, Arby. Makes me want to have Arby's for lunch. Maybe I'll go get some. So, yeah, we're going to go over those things. Now, guys, it's really, really painful to say that on July 27th, it'll be 1 year since the disappearance of Michael Vaughan. And I think that that's atrocious. Just like it was with Summer's 1 year, or any child, any missing person. And there's got to be a reason how whoever it is or whoever is involved, how in the day and age of technology hypervigilance can you not find this missing child? It makes me feel like the only people or persons who could successfully negate law enforcement and their resources to find a child is the closest ones. It's the closest ones who know their every move. It didn't have to be direct parents. It could be family members, friends of the friends. But they would have to know every single move they make. They would have to know their schedule. They'd have to know the neighborhood schedule, places they would not be able to find on camera. The list goes on and on. Now, with the Summer Wells case, it's a little different because she lives in the holler, However, even in the holler, when they're on certain, let's say, substances, they asses are more hypervigilant than anybody with a camera. They know when, a stick cracks 2 miles away down the street where Joe Bob lives, because Joe Bob's done some crazy shit. It's just the way of it. And that's speaking from someone who's lived not in a holler, but maybe a yeller in East Texas. So let me catch up with chat real quick. It makes me feel like law enforcement are bought off or someone has dirt on them. A very good point. That's kind of one of the things that we're going to talk about today. Is there potential corruption within these small town, politically driven, money driven authorities? I mean, it could totally happen. And are they suspect of someone maybe within? I mean, hell, you can go right now and Google Fruitland, Idaho, as well as Hawkins County or Rogersville, Kingsport, and you will see some corrupt-ass police officers who have been busted for many different things. Most of the time, you'll see that they are guilty of either doing the drugs that they busted someone for or theft. What I mean by that is either, or a fraud rather, but it kind of goes hand in hand because some of these cops will tell their friends or their wife or girlfriend to call in a tip to get reward money for a crime where they put a anonymous tip reward out to. So, I mean, are police officers all saints? No. Do they do their own investigation within their own departments? Doubt it. Hey, Dope. Glad you're here. Ruby, Easy. Hey, everybody who's coming in and who's watching later. Now, sometimes when I'm thinking about these cases and researching these cases, it blows my mind. First of all, some of the things these parents do and say, but second of all, how similar situations are, just painted a different way. All right, so let's start with one. I'm nerdy, girl, and I put a PowerPoint presentation with 2 slides on it. Okay, don't hate me. I was working on it and then ADHD went beep. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's the thought that counts. So the first thing that I feel is the vehicle debacle of both cases, okay? So hear me out. This red truck right here, I'm going to make my little webcam thing smaller. Y'all know who I am, what I look like. I don't need to take up the whole space here. But anyway, the red Toyota Tacoma debacle with Summer Wells' case and the white Honda Pilot. Hey, Jeep girl. Hey, Brooklyn. You know, nobody seems to know exactly who was driving these vehicles. Nobody knows. We have found some people of interest, you know, as web sleuths just researching who they might be, right? We know Tim Mullen has a red Toyota Tacoma. We know that Jody Sue Brown's family member, I think her mother had a red truck like this. I think even somehow Jackie Dobbs may have had a red vehicle similar to it, whatever. With the white Honda Pilot, not a lot of people know this, but, you know, Brandy has flip-flopped back and forth saying that they've cleared it. They haven't cleared the person. Law enforcement is saying that they have a feeling they know who it is. They're not a suspect at this time. They just want them to come forward, blah, yada, yada, yada. What is such a big, huge issue with these vehicles? Like, everybody in these small towns know each other. I can tell you that. I know that for a fact. So I'm from a small town. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that. So what is the issue here? And why aren't they asking the public for more help in this stuff? It's very mind-boggling. Sorry, my cords. Miss Toddler Eve messed with my cords when I was sleeping off my antibiotics for my eye. It's gotten a little bit better, but ooh, baby. Yesterday I looked like the Crypt Keeper, but swollen. Anyway, there's that issue. And then we have, excuse me, because I'm about to mention some people that might not like me, and I definitely don't like them. Cheers. Let's go to the next issue that I have. There are people within both cases that are, quite frankly, a pain in my and everyone's fucking ass. Said what I said. We have, got to be careful with this one on the left here. We have a person who is a strong supporter, and depending on the day, may or may not be the spokesperson for Michael. Depends on what day, depends on the mood. But here's what she states. KBOI is no longer interested in the interview. Now, backstory a little bit. There was an interview request from some weasels, maybe, I don't know, some Twitter weasels. And each email, because we want to get Michael's name out there. We obviously know not everybody knows the situation, right? But these beautiful ladies and beautiful people are pushing so hard to get his name out there and the information that they had created a fact sheet with just some simple things of what law enforcement has said, what we don't know, what we may know, and very summarized. But here it is, and maybe these are some things you can figure out and find out from law enforcement, the parents, whatever. Anyway, so KBI is no longer interested in the interview, probably because I asked to see questions and fact sheet provided by the MO team, and it was full of misinformation and rhetoric. I can promise you there was no such thing as misinformation or rhetoric. The family wants to talk about finding Michael, not your narrative. So you have an opportunity to clear up all of this stuff, but you don't want to go on a platform that could help potentially get more leads for your missing child or the rep. So when I say you, I'm talking to the parents, but it's really this person who has not only doxed people, but shamed people, used and lied about people, calling parents alcoholics. Not Brandy or Tyler, but other people who are really, really trying to find Michael or help get his name out there. Awful people behind this. And fuck you. All I have to say about that one. So do y'all. So the other one we have here on the right is Tim Mullen. Now we all know who Tim Mullen is. He is at one time, or let's just say self-proclaimed media manager for the Wells. And I don't say Summer because I say the Wells. The parents. All right. So he goes on and on about how TBI stated that no tips from YouTubers are wanted or necessary, including Chris Madonna. I made a video about it. Just the facts. They coming for you, Tyler. Yeah. Well, Tyler should be coming to the news for his missing child. But what do I know? I have to have a missing child to know what to do, even though there is a to-do list from the DOJ. I put it up many, many times. It clearly outlines what you should do. But what the hell do we know? We don't know snap. We don't have missing children. How do we know what we would do? Well, that's why I'm here. To help people know what to do, what to see, what to hear, what to feel in the community more than anything. Because honestly, I never want to get one step close to a missing child's parents. I think it's a horrible idea to do so. I think you're going to, as we see in both cases, screw up a case. We don't need to be getting close to them. We need to be asking the news, which is their job to get this information. We need to be pushing them to do that work. They get paid for it. A lot of money, actually. Networks. And for some reason, in Michael Vaughan's case, which this is the difference between Summer's case, you're not seeing a lot of coverage on Michael's case. Maybe it's not dramatic enough. Maybe maybe they don't see the actual bullshit drama going on in a small group, me included, and some ladies in the chat here that know. Maybe it's just not raw and dirty enough. But you know what? That damn fact sheet, it's not drama. But those questions that we all would like to know, and the parents should want to know, That's why you see this little blip about, full of misinformation. There's not a damn thing in there that's not fact or a valid question. So that's a big similarity. Another one that I want to talk about that I think is important is that the blankness, the nothing, the no new information, the runaround, the what the hell do we do now? The nothingness that we get from anyone in law enforcement about where these children are, what leads, what does the community do? Is there some kind of crazy kidnapper getting their kids? Like, there's nothing. And that's the biggest key right here. They could potentially aim a missile while we're calmly eating our Cheerios and hit us just like that, but they can't find these missing children. That is malarkey. It's hogwash. And we've got to push forward and make law enforcement accountable on what they are doing. Another issue that I'm foreseeing here is the reward fund money. We all know about the reward fund money issue with Summer Wells' case. We know damn well. They weren't clear enough. The people of YouTube's fucked up. I'm just going to say it. Enchanted Life Path tried to warn y'all. He tried to warn y'all that there are certain ways to go about this business here. And you didn't do it. You got egotistical and you got your panties in a wad or your boxers, depending on who you are, and didn't listen. Well, guess what, peeps? I don't think Fruitland PD did either. Can't wait, Harsh, to hear that video. I'm waiting for it. I got one ready, so you better put it out there if you haven't already, because I'm waiting. So anyway, there is too much malarkey. And if it was, I don't know, I hate to compare this, but if it was someone who left on their own free will and you can't find them, that's one thing. I'm talking about an adult. But these are 6-year-old children who didn't get, that had no timeline, nothing. And law enforcement isn't saying shit. And you have the parents going on social media acting a damn fool or missing in action. It's so similar sometimes. I literally, my mouth drops and I'm like, did they potentially go and find a book at the library that said the worst fucking things you can do on the day that you need to be watching your kids and they go? Like, it really does boggle my mind. And I don't really care how anybody feels about COVID, but the COVID times when everybody was jam-packed into a house together, think about it. Each side has 4 children. Both cases, 4 siblings who live with a grandparent. And that's how similar this case is, just little things like that. I do believe down deep that the COVID crazy and maybe some drugs, because they both have admitted that they do them and you can see it. I think those 2 things are huge. A huge key. Another thing, that case study that I did, that you all know about, I'm sure, I have a video on it, says that both households, or excuse me, usually with a chaotic household like that doesn't have really any set ground, multiple family members, multiple children of different family groups, step parents and stuff, they tend to have a similarity between potty training issues with the younger children. If there are younger children in the home, well, guess what? The mean average age is 5 when children are falsely reported as missing, abducted. 5. That's how old they were when they left. Another thing is that usually the parents are not paying attention enough in the home because they have so many things going on. Usually one parent is overworked and can't see things clearly because they're doing too much. And we see that with Dawn, and we see that with Brandy. I could go on and on and on and on and on. I could go on and on. Here's the thing. They're still missing. Law enforcement's not saying shit. And we're sitting here with our hands tied, not knowing what to do. We're reaching out to the media, and they're giving us the runaround. If somebody doesn't get their ass and do something, media, news, if y'all don't do something, this is how you get crazy ass YouTubers. This is how you get that. And that's on y'all. That is 100% on y'all. Don't do that to Michael's case. We have Summer Wells' case. Bless her soul. Don't do that to Michael. Don't. You have a choice right now, media, to do something right. And honor Summer in the process of how you should be covering missing children's cases. Do it right. I hope everybody sees that too. I'm going to send this shit to Nancy Grace. I'll send it to all y'all. I don't care. But seriously, enough is enough. No parent can get their damn facts straight. They don't know the timeline. They crisscross. And each parent on both sides has said something so profound that you're like, how did you come to that conclusion? For instance, when Brandy was going through Tyler's phone, trying to figure out, the exact times of when the pizza was ordered, that changed 4 times. It found out he ordered it online. She goes, well, it's not like he called anybody to come take our son. Ma'am? Excuse me? That's like Dawn saying, I'll see her in the resurrection. Another similarity. Guys. Woo! They gonna learn today. Let me catch up with chat. You know how I rant. I'm gonna scroll up here. I love your nerdiness. Oh, thank you, Grammy. Yes, nerdiness is a word. Sounds like something blankety blank would say, talking about the tweet. I'm not saying her name because she'll flag me for some bullshit. She's a walking red flag, but whatever. I know what I wouldn't be doing as a mother of a missing child. Heather says, I would not be in another chat room, such as this channel I'm not going to mention on here, talking crap and partying it up. Another similarity of the two. You will never be lonely. Yeah, Sassafras, I don't know why my notifications, you know how YouTube is. The notifications suck. Both guardians, Barb Vandler says, both guardians were under the influence at the time of their child's disappearance. Preach. That should make them guilty enough to do time. Preach. I do love ELP too, Holly. Love the man. I mean, he gets out of hand. I tell him too. Like, stop it. But most of the time he hits the target. Summer, Michael, Harmony, the two West boys, all of them babies out there. Amen. Daniel Robinson, Dylan, yep. Just the facts. Oh, I'd love to see Nancy Grace get a hold of Donnie. Baby. Look, I have literally cussed Nancy Grace out, myself, like not to her face, but as I'm watching her. And then the next day I'm like, yes, ma'am, I love you. Because she, no matter how you want to spin that, she is good at getting down to the nitty gritty. And I can't blame her for it. The older I get, the same attitude I have, right? You got to be with these cases. You cannot be emotionally, weak. You could be passionate, but you cannot be emotionally weak. And that's why you have people who don't listen to the facts and just automatically assume these parents are innocent. Whatever. Yes, local stations should want to cover local children that are missing, particularly when it's rare there. Yeah, absolutely, Brooklyn. Yes. You're going to tell me 8 hours? Mr. Vaughan was interrogated for 8 hours after failing his polygraph. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. That's sad if a parent gets angry about an accident. Shit, my son had an immature bladder and had accidents overnight until age 13. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like, look, especially if you're in a high stressed, traumatic family household, and you're a child who makes potty mistakes, you're gonna have accidents. You're gonna have them. And guess what? If you don't have your drug of choice that day, or you're having issues with your partner or another child in the house, potty training is going to go to the back of the freaking list. And when they make an accident and you're coming down off of something, or your husband pissed you off, you might do something to the extreme. AJ Friend, look him up, made a video about him. I can't tell you how upset I am about his case. That's what happened to him. He tried to hide his soiled underwear. She beat him with a curtain rod and then stuck him in a cold shower. He died. Hey, Mr. Eve. You came in at a hell of a time, Mr. Eve. I'm not mad. I promise I'll be fine. Yeah, go look up AJ Friend. It's not FRIND. It's FRUEND. AJ Friend. That's how you say it, though. That poor baby. It enrages me that from infancy to 5 nowadays, your life might be in danger if you have druggy parents who don't have a solid home foundation. And then CPS won't do you a bit of good. Matter of fact, might even help your cause to get gone. Pisses me off. Yes, the parents were interrogated for Michael. 8 hours Tyler was drilled by the FBI after he failed his poly. She said it herself to Chris Madonna. You're on your way home, Mr. Eve? Okay, well then I will wrap it up, guys. Those are just the little bitty things. Well, they're not little, but the gist of it is that there's so many similarities that I can't for the life of me understand why we're here. And I believe this has happened, has Idaho and Tennessee come together enough to see what happened, where they're lacking and where they're not, and learning from each other and updating the public? No. We live in a country where states are state. They don't really give a shit about maybe, Oregon, which is only 10 minutes from Michael's house. Fuck them. That's not what happened. They're not communicating with each other. Everything's a freaking mess. We need so much work to prevent these kind of things. Absolutely, Sake Brandy defends him, especially when he failed a poly, right? Like, I busted her ass. Like, she said, everybody who's clipping this, and I was like, you bet your ass I am. Looking at you like, if I had an inkling or a thought that he had anything to do with my son missing, don't you think I'd be the first one to be on him Okay, well, here, let's look at the facts. This is what you said to Chris. Play. They took him from me and interrogated him for 8 hours. He failed his polygraph. Ma'am. I'm sorry, that really just irks me. Does. Make it make sense, people. These are these innocent children. I'm just mad at myself for not jumping in from month 1, day 1. We need to learn that, guys. If you are a huge Summer Wells follower, I better see y'all's asses in my chat for Cody, Harmony, and anybody else. Please. Thank you. They all matter. All right. I'm going to get off of here before Mr. Eve comes in and starts doing crazy shit behind me because he's done that before. But I want to thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with me and waiting for my content to get back on track. As you know, I've had extreme health issues this year. I'm ADHD, trying to work all this new stuff out and my business and all that stuff. So thank you so much for sticking with me. More content is coming. And I do have a surprise. I was supposed to do a premiere for some Spirit Box stuff this weekend, but I got really, really sick. So tonight's the night, baby. And I can't wait to put the little premiere out there so y'all can see who it's about. It is regarding Summer Wells' case. So keep an eye out for that. I love you all. Drink your water, hug your babies, your fur babies, your grandbabies, and yourself. And I will see you on the next live. Love you guys. Bye.